So I encourage you when we chant together to let the lyrics guide your mind and your heart and your soul and your body. Your body will remember the words after a little bit, and you could sort of check out and drift on the waves of the lyrics. So that's the opportunity that you have in the chants. So, as is often the case, when I begin researching a topic after I select it, I find that so many magnificent minds have weighed in on the subject that my own reflections become glaringly superficial. They become partial and they feel rather insignificant. So, I selected beauty as the topic for this reflection. And guess who hasn't thought of beauty? Nobody hasn't thought of beauty. From poets to philosophers and pop icons, beauty is a dead horse. But it is a horse beaten to death that we will wrap our arms around and kiss. And if that illusion sounds familiar, it's because you, like me, have got Dostoevsky on the brain. Don't worry if it didn't, it's not a quiz. In fact, this whole thing started when I read that sentiment from Dostoevsky's The Idiot. Beauty will save the world. It is beauty that will save the world. I don't know where that came into my life. It actually wasn't from the story. It was from something that alluded to it. But there it dropped into my consciousness, and I thought, yeah, that sounds right. That makes a ton of sense if I could figure out what it means. Or at least if I could figure out what I mean when I read it. And so then I begin the research, and then the crowd of people gathers, and the dead horse. Which mixed all together is actually helpful because in a way, as soon as that phrase popped into my head, it reminded me of another scene from a Dostoevsky novel. This one from Crime and Punishment. In that book, the anti-hero Raskolnikov dreams about an old man leading his aged horse through the market. And the horse stops pulling because it's tired. And no matter how hard the man pulls, the horse doesn't move. So a crowd gathers and jeers and laughs at the man, who then becomes infuriated and starts beating the horse harder and harder. And before long, the crowd joins in. And they beat the horse with whatever they can grab, including iron bars, until it is dead. The dreamer, Raskolnikov, a child in his dream, then rushes to the beast and throws his arm around it and kisses it in anguish. And as odd as it is, as awful as it is, this demonstrates a strong relationship between these two means in The Idiot, that beauty will save the world, and this idea of cruelty taking place in Crime and Punishment. And beyond the shared author, there is perhaps a cyclical revelation between salvific beauty and cruelty. don't mean that one must be cruel to find beauty or experience cruelty to find beauty, or that beauty itself is cruel. What I mean is that there is a way in which beauty is only available through heartbreak. And if beauty is truth, or has something to do with truth, then heartbreak is inevitable. For truth can be clarifying, yes, but it can also be cruel. And so heartbreak is our birthright. But beauty is our deliverance. For be it through longing or loss or loneliness or being overwhelmed or discovering your own contingency, your own dependency and minuscule power, through heartbreak, through redeeming that heartbreak, we find ourselves no longer longing, but satiated, no longer lonely, but in deep relationship to all creation, no longer overwhelmed, but experiencing the sense of being thoroughly embedded, no longer dismayed by contingency and dependency, but rejoicing in kinship, in co-creation. No longer a minuscule stranger, but an important and complex part of an amazing and complex universe that, though your heart is broken, through heartbreak, your heart grows so full, it bursts and spills out and meets up with the world made newly beautiful. So how do we redeem heartbreak? What I hear we listen, we observe, we sink into our immediate sensual experience of the world around us and within us. We listen to life as it is and to the secret that a broken heart knows. In other words, we accept life and we understand that everyone's heart breaks or has broken or is breaking. That's the secret that the broken heart knows. We call it compassion. So compassion is a key element to the beautiful moment. Think back to the last time you experienced a moment of ecstatic beauty. I wonder if there was an undercurrent of compassion and heartbreak embedding you. So compassion is rooted in heartbreak, but delivers us into beauty. Compassion turns truth, be it cruel or helpful, into beauty. And as truth is all around us, all the time, so too is the opportunity for beauty. Beauty surrounds us, compassion with every step, compassion turning truth into beauty and into blessings. And So we hear this from the Navajo Nightway ceremony. In beauty may I walk, all day long may I walk, through the returning seasons may I walk. Beautifully I will possess again, beautifully the birds, beautifully joyful birds on the trail marked with pollen may I walk. With grasshoppers about my feet may I walk. With dew about my feet may I walk. With beauty may I walk. With beauty before me may I walk. With beauty behind me may I walk. With beauty above me may I walk. With beauty all around me may I walk. In old age, wandering on a trail of beauty, lively may I walk. In old age, wandering on a trail of beauty, living again may I walk. It is finished in beauty. It is finished in beauty. And so in the end and immediately and always, beauty saves the world. Not the happily ever after, not forever and ever, but right now, and right now. I think beauty at last is the joy of acceptance. The joy of being open to and accepting all that is immediately happening right now. And this is all encompassing. This is before me, behind me, around me, above me. It is an exercise of compassion and awareness. The world is saved when we understand and accept that there is beauty around us at every step. I'm going to have a very brief savasana today. This is a silence that allows you to absorb what we've all just been in together. Just as when you work out, your muscles work, but they build while you're resting. This is the time